Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy VII. Last time we finished the whole sequence at Rocket Town, and this time we want to head in this direction, going to the far west side, or wait, no, that's the east side. The far east side of this continent. I know my directions. If you continue going along this section here, eventually we will pop out at something a little familiar. Though if you haven't played the game, you probably won't recognize this point on the map until you see this house. You're back basically to the start of the game here. Actually, if we continue to go this way, we'll be able to find even the town of Calm and Midgar. And there's one of them, and the other one's unseeable in the background. Basically, the reason for coming around this way is to access the one continent that we haven't gotten to yet. That would be the northern continent, which is, if I stop getting stuck, will be up in this direction. This continent here, of course, being the northern continent, is the snow continent, and there are a number of things we can do here. Most important of which is located here, in the Bone Village. This guy here sells stuff. Do I want any of it? Diamond bangles are better than what we have. Rune armlets are not, but they have double materia growth. I don't really need to train too much more materia at this point in the game, so I'm not too worried. Basically, why I had double materia growth weapons on for such a long period of time was simply to get my spells up there. I still want to get Cure 3 and master some alls and raise the value on some of my HP plus materias. And maybe up counter a little more, finish that off. Other than that, there's not too much. I basically wanted them so I could master these, or at least level these up. Lightning, fire, ice, poison, earth, just so that I can cast them. And as you can kind of see here, I've brought some new characters into my party. Reason for that is, well, they're new characters, and they have nothing in terms of limits, so they're going to take some work to get up there. The other thing is I've actually finished off, for the most part, all my other characters when it comes to limits. I was fighting some of those round or spiral guys that I was showing off in Medea last time. The other enemies you could use to train your limits against are also in the grassland, only in the grassland in the Medea area, and those are some green hopper enemies. I think they're called, are they called hopper? They look like grass, they're grass Pokemon. I don't know, they're green, they use sickles, they're like not tarantulas, they're like scorpions or something like that, but they're all green. You can run into groups of up to 4 of them, but be very careful if you're trying to train limits against them, because they do a lot of damage and they are extremely fast. They can wipe your party out if you're not paying attention, especially considering you'll go to heal and then they'll get 4 more turns off before you actually get to use your healing spell. But it's also a really good point to work on limits, so that's what I did. I just basically got beat up enough, used my limits, and I'll show off some of the other ones and get some other limits and show you guys what they do later, other times. Basically, with these 2 new characters, I didn't need to leave there, I'm no longer using a lot of double materia growth weapons because I don't really need them, and I want to work on these guys' limits. So I could buy the diamond bangle, and I am going to buy, screw it, I don't need it. Well, sure, why not? Let's get 3 of them, just in case I decide to use them. I actually probably will. There is one other thing we can do here right now, and we're not actually directed to come here at this point in the game. This is entirely optional. But if we head into here, we get eerie music, like back in the Mithril Mines. I like the theme of the Mithril Mines. And if you notice over here on the, right here. There, I got it. See if you see kind of to the left of Cloud, there's a little red glowing orb there, and it actually moves around throughout this area. This is the Kajata materia, or the Jata materia. Is the K supposed to be silent? I have no idea. This materia is kind of unique. I'm not going to put it on right now, but let's see. There we go. Yeah, this is actually the first material... Well, no, it's not. Odin was the first one that lost us more than 2% of our maximum HP. As you can see, Odin raises it and lowers it, or, lowers your maximum HP by 5%, as does Kajata. And this actually it's a multi-elemental spell. So if you wanted to use it with elemental, it's not very useful. It basically adds non-elemental, because it's more than one element in this game that classifies it in terms of the elemental materia as non-elemental. So it's kind of useless for that. And if you cast it, I think it's earth, lightning, and fire? Anyway, it's 3 elements. If the enemy is immune to any one of them, they'll absorb the whole thing. If they half any one of them, they'll half the whole thing. So there's not too many... Well, there's a few uses for it, but not a lot. I just wanted to pick it up because it's there and you can access it now. You can't actually continue on in this area because it'll endlessly loop that previous screen over and over and over again. And the game's trying to tell you that you can't do anything here yet. So let's not do anything here yet. Instead, let's see. I actually have a good reason to equip that new diamond bangle right now. And that is to throw the steel materia on Cloud, because there is something I want to steal here. And this enemy should be able to be found right in the plains around here. Hopefully I can find it. Come on. There we go. Oh, these are not the new enemies I was looking for. Trick play. I have no idea why these guys are here. Let's kill them. Yeah, I'm not looking for these guys. These are basically a palette swap from the guys that taught us L4 Suicide earlier on in the game. I don't think they use L4 Suicide. I could be wrong. Anyway, Vincent is... Okay, I guess I won't get to show it off. I have equipped Vincent with the CR rifle, which, if you were noticing when I was in my menu earlier, and if not, I will show it off again. It has 255 attack percentage, which works really well with the Deathblow materia that I haven't really used up to this point, because no one's had a really high percentage weapon at this point, hit percentage weapon. And with Deathblow, your accuracy drops by 1/3 or to 1/3 of what it normally is. So if you drop, 255 by 1/3, it's still over 100%, so we can still hit with it. Other characters have, especially with, 100 or 110% accuracy, they can't hit very well with it at all, which makes it really annoying. Okay, well, I wasn't on the beach, but here's a tornado. Apparently they just didn't try when it came to naming enemies in this game. Alright, let's show off some of these level 3 spells. I can't use that one. Okay, let's use Ice 3 and Fire 3. Not bad. Okay, let's just use Ice 3 and one-shot the guy. I didn't think I was on the beach, but okay. We can do that. And we get a bird wing. I don't even remember what that does. There's no float status in this game. What does that do? Bird wing. Whirlwind on all opponents. I guess that's a wind elemental attack. As far as I know, that's the only access you have until way later. I think you get arrow as an enemy skill in this game. I might be thinking of Final Fantasy V, though. Find the enemy. Come on. Are you guys dizzy yet? Ooh, I think I'm getting dizzy. Find the enemy already. Okay, here we go. That's better. Alright. Steal from this guy. This is the guy that I wanted to meet up with because he contains, or he has, the steel carob nuts, which will be useful later on disc 2. Here we have, this guy is actually weak to gravity, so laser works really well. But I do want to make use of Sid's limit here. This is his level 1 limit. Hyper jump, it's not particularly good. But then again, most of his aren't good. And, well, most of his are actually pretty good. Sid's got some pretty cool limits. It's Vincent that has some really different types of limits. Yeah, let's use some more gravity while it's still doing lots of damage here. I'm not too sure what that attack is based off of in terms of element. It might be gravity-based as well, I'm not too sure actually. Alright, let's lower him down so that he's at an acceptable level. Once it starts doing less damage than we can do with other abilities, then I'll start using something else. But the thing with the carob nut is that we actually need 2 of them, so off-screen I'm going to fight this guy again, get 1 more of them. Actually, do I need 2? I think I only need 2, don't I? Oh no, I need 3. I know what I'm doing. So yeah, I'm going to get a couple more off-screen, and eventually, once I kill this guy, I'll be able to be right back. I can use bait on him. And use, I've already showed off Bio 3. Alright, let's see. Fire 3. Oh, it is Bolt Ball, so it is Lightning Elemental. Oh, go figure. Eventually, when Vincent learns his limit, I'll be able to show it off. Fire 3 looks pretty cool. Anyway, I'll go steal some more of those, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back and far away from where I was. Basically, just retrace your steps, and if you're having trouble finding this place, it is by the gold saucer. And your best access to it is either to retrace your steps or go completely around in between the Wutai continent on the west there and the second continent on the east, and just go around it in a circle, and eventually you'll end up back here. Anyway, in order to continue on, we need to head to this house. And like we saw earlier, there was no one here before. And why would you have a shop way out here if you get no business? That makes no sense. Keystone. We haven't heard anything about a keystone. Okay, what's a keystone? A very old temple. Half a guess at what that's going to open. Yeah, and something that no one has mentioned at all throughout the entire game is now common knowledge. Go figure. Just a legend. But then again, it's a video game, so all legends are true, right? Anyway, if you talk to this guy, where's the keystone? Oh, so you kind of got threatened into doing it, huh? Oh, not really threatened in a basic sense. But, you know, you're not going to do any business again if you kind of screw with this guy. Diof, the owner of the gold saucer, he bought it. Where's the temple? Something about ultimate destruction magic. Oh. Then why you keep telling me about it? Just because I asked doesn't mean you need to actually volunteer information. Let's change the subject. This guy's not very useful. Haven't been able to get any materials, and he's looking for mithril, which, if you remember, we picked up basically as soon as we were given access to the buggy from the old man. If you give him some, you can help ourselves to the big box or the small box. The big box contains some useless item. This one contains the Great Gospel, which is Eris level 4 limit break. Speaking of level 4 limit breaks, I brought a couple characters into my party because these are the two that I actually have items for. I had one at the time. Now he's got it. And he learned his last one, and oops, Eris learned her last one. Now, might as well go over this here. If you go check, I think I've already kind of showed this. This one casts Haste and Raise Defense. That's a draining one, which is pretty useful. This attacks all opponents with multiple hits, so that can be useful if you're either really, really powerful, or if, you know, at the point of the game where you actually get it. What else? We've seen this one. That one's not particularly useful unless Red's in a fight where he can make use of his normal attack. Earth Rave, I don't think it's Earth Elemental, but it does, it's one-hit damage. It's not particularly useful. And Cosmo Memory attacks all enemies, but it only hits once, which is not very good considering some of the better ones hit a lot of times. Eris has some more interesting limit breaks. We've seen her first two. The level 2 Breath of the Earth cures status ailments, which is basically pointless and hard to level up. Fury Brand is the best limit she has. The reason why it's so good is because if you use this, your other two party members will get their limits maxed out instantly at the cost of hers. So she uses hers, fills up 2 more. Very good for grinding out limits if you're using her when you're doing it. Especially for getting the part 1, the first limit per level. And let's see, what else do we have here? This inflicts the Peerless status, which basically means you're invincible for a time. You can't heal, you can't cast status effects on yourself, you can't take damage, but you can be invincible and wail on your enemies for a while. Probably a good idea to make sure you're healed up prior to setting up this limit break, because you don't want it to wear off, because it's not permanent. You don't want it to wear off and then have an enemy use a powerful attack and wipe you out. Pulse of the Earth fully restores all HP and MP. It's basically like a Mega Elixir from any other Final Fantasy games, including this one. Great Gospel basically does both her level 3s, which, if this was really useful, and it is useful, it could be extremely abusive in certain situations. But, you know, it's only useful if you get it in a boss fight. And so that's the kind of the drawback. So I'm going to set hers to level 4 as well. The one thing with level 4 limits, as opposed to say level 1 or level 2 or even level 3, is it fills up substantially slower based on the amount of damage you take. So you can take the same damage, you know, be at level, have the level 1 limit break set, and you'll gain that a lot faster than this one, even if you're taking the same amount of damage. Just making it harder to get something useful. I'll go over some of the other characters' limits when they get their last level. Barrett's are all involved in his gun. Tifa's beats the crap out of everyone with them. Yuffie seems to have a very strange set for hers. But anyway, let's pull in my new characters that I've got here. And I haven't been able to show off, oh, what's his name's limit there. There we go. And so basically, now that we know that Dio is the one that got that, we're going to head to the Gold Saucer and talk to him. I never showed off the enemies that were around here. Let's fight these guys. Neither of which is important. There's a Spencer. Can I access the guy in the back row? No, apparently I can't. Alright, what do I have here? Bolt 3. Let's use that. Haven't showed that off yet. Sid's got the cover materia, so he'll be taking a few more hits. There we go. These guys aren't too challenging. even at the point when you first got here. And you get random chocobo nuts from them, I don't know why. Well, they're nuts for use with chocobos, but we won't be able to do that till much later. End of disc 2. Okay, well, we're pretty much there. And I'll just jump straight to in Gold Saucer. Hey guys, I'm back and in the Gold Saucer. And if you talk to this lady here and answer that's the idea, oh, she doesn't like people who are all talk. Maybe we can prove her wrong in the battle arena. But I don't have a lot of time, and I'd show off. You can actually get prizes here. Here you collect battle points from your victories and your defeats. Well, not from your defeats, but from your battle experience. And this is the receptionist here. You talk to her, and you can get a bunch of stuff. Well, you can basically sign up for battle. Yeah, basically she's still on the dialogue set from when we were here the first time, unfortunately. Here, I went off screen to the chocobo races and I got myself some more GP. Normally I wouldn't have nearly this much, but I happen to get lucky. As you bet on them, you can get either an item or GP in place of the item. And I happen to get lucky and get a turbo weather, which is worth 150 GP. That's a lot of GP. So, I can go and do the battle, but I'm not going to do it right now because I don't really have a lot of time. But yeah, in order to proceed with the game, we need to head over here to Dio's showroom. We're going to do that and the battle arena, which I could have done way back when we originally got to this point the first time after we cleared the Coral prison. We could have come back here and done a few things and got some items. But I didn't think we needed them, and I was right. There's definitely, they would have helped a little bit, but not a lot. But I do want to do some stuff here at the Battle Arena before going to the next area. So, that's all for this episode, and I'll see you guys next time.